Welcome to The Explainer. If you own a home, maybe run a small business, or manage a rental, you already know the absolute dread of a slow-moving drain. You know, the ankle-deep, soapy water situation. And if you've ever called a plumber out to fix one of these things, maybe pulling up an absolute hair monster from the depths, you've almost certainly been pitched the inevitable upsell, the monthly or annual drain cleaning maintenance plan. But are these recurring plans actually a smart financial move, or literally just money down the drain? Well, today we're going to break down the facts, figure out exactly who benefits here and who is just getting taken for a ride.
So let's kick things off by defining the basic pitch behind these plans. Usually, they're sold as a monthly or annual recurring service. The whole idea is focused on routine clearing of everyday culprits. We're talking soap scum, cooking grease, hair, hard water scale, which, by the way, is just that crusty mineral buildup that totally chokes your pipes. The big promise here is that by paying a subscription fee for regular maintenance, you'll prevent massive buildup, massively reduce the odds of a disgusting backup, and ultimately avoid those insanely expensive, stress-inducing emergency calls.
Here is our roadmap for this explainer. 1. The maintenance plan pitch. 2. When plans make sense. 3. Red flags and wasted money. 4. Questions before you sign. And 5. Smart alternatives and habits.
All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, the maintenance plan pitch.
Now, we absolutely have to start by understanding that the scope of these plans varies wildly. I mean, they are definitely not created equal. A plan's actual worth hinges entirely on its scope. Some companies might throw in decent perks, like discounted rates for general repairs or scheduled cleanings for notorious trouble spots like your kitchen sink. But others, they really don't offer much at all. You've got to ask yourself if they include high-value services, like camera inspections. If a plan just relies on blindly running a mechanical snake or dumping chemicals without ever actually confirming the underlying cause of your clogs, well, they aren't providing real value. You need clear documentation of their findings. Otherwise, you're literally just paying someone to poke at a problem in the dark, over and over again.
Moving on to Section 2, when plans make sense.
So, despite all the skepticism out there are actually scenarios where these plans completely shine. I want you to think about it this way. Treat the plan like an insurance product. It should reduce downside risk and provide measurable prevention, not merely repeat the same clearing routine. A really good maintenance plan acts exactly like an insurance policy for your plumbing. It should be catching partial obstructions early or identifying recurring tree root intrusions in your main line, or maybe spotting issues with your building's main trap, you know, that curved section of pipe near the exit that stops sewer gases from backing up into your living room. Catching those things before they escalate into full-blown sewage backups and property damage is a real game changer. It absolutely has to be about measurable prevention.
Basically, properties fall into two very distinct risk profiles. On one side, you have the high-risk home. If your kitchen sees a ton of grease, or maybe you own rental properties where you simply can't control what your tenants decide to flush, you are high risk. The same goes for older plumbing systems that have a history of slowing down. If you fit this profile, a plan can be highly cost-effective, assuming, of course, it includes clear reporting and camera assessments that actually match your heavy usage. But on the flip side, if you look at the low-risk home, meaning your drains generally flow perfectly well and you have zero history of clogs, well, paying for a recurring plan might just be an entirely unnecessary expense for you.
Which brings us to Section 3, red flags and wasted money.
Okay, let's shift gears and look at the huge warning signs that a plumbing maintenance contract is going to be a complete and total waste of your hard-earned money. The first big red flag? Vague coverage. If the contract doesn't explicitly tell you whether it covers your critical main sewer line or just individual fixture drains, you might be in for a super nasty surprise when a real emergency hits. Red flag number 2 is fixed autopilot schedules. If your drains are totally fine, but you're paying for routine monthly cleaning regardless of your actual risk or need, well, that plan functions as nothing more than a billing subscription. And the third red flag is blind clearing. If the service fails to address the real root causes of your clogs, meaning they just snake it, shrug, and leave without ever finding out exactly why it clogged in the first place, that is a massive problem.
Let's look at Section 4, questions before you sign.
To protect yourself from those red flags we just talked about, you need a solid buyer's guide checklist to evaluate a contract before you ever hand over your credit card. So here are 5 absolutely non-negotiable questions you need to demand answers to. Number 1, what exactly is included? You got to know if you're getting inspection camera work or just basic cleaning, and which specific lines are covered. Number 2, how often do they recommend service? Make sure that frequency actually matches your home's unique risk level and isn't just automatically set to every single month for everybody. Number 3, do they provide photo or video documentation of their findings? 4, What is explicitly excluded? You want to ask up front about hidden fees for locating cleanouts, replacing parts, handling roots, or venting problems. And finally, number 5, is there a cancellation or transferability option? Always confirm you can switch back to a pay-as-you-go model without getting hit with crazy penalty fees.
Finally, Section 5, Smart Alternatives and Habits.
Now, if you're starting to realize a formal recurring plan probably costs way more than just occasional service for your specific home, you need a smart, cause-based approach. Let's look at 3 steps that put you back in control. Step 1 is simple prevention. Just practice basic grease management by wiping down residues before washing your dishes, totally avoid flushing non-degradable items, and honestly, just buy a few cheap drain strainers to catch hair in food. That alone works wonders. Step 2 is to pay for a one-time camera inspection. This is honestly the best starting point because it identifies the actual root cause of any recurring issues, whether it's grease, misaligned pipes, venting, or roots. And that leads to Step 3. Once you know the exact cause, you can utilize pay-as-you-go targeted service bundles. This just means you're only paying to clean the specific lines that actually give you trouble, instead of putting every single fixture in your house on some useless autopilot schedule.
Ultimately, evaluating these plans comes down to making a really fair, realistic comparison. You have to weigh the transparent, documented total cost of a comprehensive plan against what targeted pay-as-you-go service would likely run you over that exact same period. So, I want to leave you with this final, absolutely crucial question. What is your household's true plumbing risk profile? I want you to take an honest look at your drains today, evaluate your family's daily habits, and ask yourself, do you really need expensive, ongoing plumbing insurance, or do you maybe just need slightly better habits and a one-time camera inspection?